Are you going to take ACCA's SBL exam? Hop in, we are doing a pre-scene analysis. We are not question spotting, or at least I am not question spotting, and we are not doing a comprehensive in-depth analysis. What this is this is a brief analysis where I'm going to tell you what I would do if I were to take this exam in a few days, and how I would read the pre-scene information as a student who was reading actively. Let's go. Make a SWOT analysis. I am telling you this first thing because I can tell you this without seeing the pre-scene information. You should do a SWOT analysis of the pre-scene information. Why? Not because you are going to be asked to provide a SWOT in the exam. You are never directly asked to provide a model, but also you may never feel the need to make a SWOT analysis in the exam. However, doing it beforehand gives you an advantage because you already know the opportunities and threats. So if you need to make any analysis about the external environment, you already know that. And you know the strengths and weaknesses, which means you already know the strategic capability, the strategic position. So you are ready to go and answer a lot of questions with that information. So why not be prepared before you take the actual exam? So as usual, we are provided the industry information, and in the second part of pre-scene, we have the company information. You will see that I highlighted some keywords, some key sentences according to me. This doesn't mean there's nothing important in the parts that I haven't highlighted, or these are just the most important things. However, I just read and thought this was interesting, this is important, this should be something, and I highlighted those parts. So what do we have here? We have an introduction, obviously. We know this company was founded more than a decade ago. It had 3 founding owners that are still active in the company, and they are executive directors. This is a well-known company in its own country. And then we have some service statistics. Now, we see that percentage of client data stored in the cloud is lower in this country than the global. So this should tell us something. And we have the annual revenue, and then we have the share of top 10 companies. So we have some key statistics. Then we have the service models. Now, you should be able to understand these service models, and you should clearly get that this is a pyramid kind of industry. So these models, they build on top of each other, which means that at the base of everything, at the base of our pyramid is infrastructure as a service. So it's acronym IaaS. We have IaaS at the bottom of our pyramid. So basically, platform as a service builds on top of that. So it provides everything IaaS does and adds on top of it. It provides more. And then we have SaaS, which provides everything that PaaS provides and adds more services on top of it. So we have 3 models here. You can use the acronyms so you can write faster. Then we have 3 ways these service models can be delivered. And the costs of these differ widely, so you should be aware of that. One of these is a premium service, while the other is a pay-as-you-use, which is the public version, which is significantly cheaper. And we have the hybrid version, which is still significantly cheaper than the exclusive private cloud. Then we have benefits, challenges, and developments. So obviously there is a lot of material for SWOT here. But on top of that, when I was reading, I took some notes because this made me think of Porter's 5 forces. Again, doesn't mean Porter's 5 forces is going to come up in the exam. I just saw a lot of things about industry and competition, which automatically made me think of Porter's 5 forces. But looking at this pre-scene, I can confidently say that with the exhibits, they can ask so many questions, so many different models. Like they can also ask, Porter's Diamond if they give you some information about the country, or maybe they provide some more macro environmental things and they ask you some scenario where you can apply pastel. So again, do not question SPOT, but what we are trying to do here is we are trying to see what we already have. And we do this not to, again, we are not question spotting, but we are going deep into what we have. We are processing the pre-scene and seeing what we already have to get a full picture of the material, at least as full as we can get before the exhibits. So what I saw here was that now I saw that the client's demands becoming more challenging to satisfy. This made me think of power of buyers. Then the second one is obviously about the competition and rivalry, which is the core and conclusion of the model. And then we saw something about the infrastructure and service providers, which made me think of power of suppliers. We see a constant risk from hacking. I didn't process it as a part of Porter's 5 forces, but we have a lot more information about the risks here. We are going to talk about that separately. Then we have information about labor, and maybe you didn't think about it like that, but in terms of Porter's 5 forces, labor is a supply. So workforce can be taken as a group of suppliers. So I took this as bargaining power of suppliers. Again, up there we also have another group of suppliers. Then we have here innovation. And it clearly states, the preceding info clearly states that the following areas of technological development have been identified as being vital. So we already know this innovation is vital, but in general terms, innovation is opportunity if you can use it, and if you are left behind, it's a threat. Of course, this is very, very basic without context, but yeah, this is the general situation. Then we have KPIs. So we see that there are operational KPIs and financial KPIs. Financial KPIs put the emphasis on revenue and profit. So profitability is important here, and the preceding info tells us, and then we will have graphs that in the last year, the company didn't really do well. You should also clearly understand the operational KPIs. They are there for a reason, for sure.